Zero and the Search for Effective Zen. Episode 4. What is activity? Imagine you're staring at a still pond, perfectly calm. But drop a single pebble, and suddenly, ripples, movement, change. What if Zen isn't just the stillness of the pond, but more the rippling activity itself? What if everything, your thoughts, your breath, the notion of yourself, even the universe, is not a thing or made of things, but of activity? Last time we asked, how do we explain activity, spirituality, Buddhism and Zen? Today we dive into the first piece, activity. And here's why it matters. If Zen is part of Buddhism, and Buddhism is part of spirituality, and spirituality is just one aspect of human activity, then Zen is not a thing at all, it's something happening. It's movement, process, interaction. This isn't some wild new idea. Philosophers, scientists, and Zen masters have all pointed to the same fundamental truth. The universe isn't a collection of objects. It's an ongoing event. A web of interdependent actions, a cosmic dance of push and pull. And circling back to Zen, the late Zen master Joshu Sasaki would often remind his students, Buddhism is not an object. Zen is not an object. We like to carve the world into neat little categories. This thing, this belief, that practice. But reality doesn't work like that. What we call Zen is just a sliver of a much larger process. One that doesn't have a fixed shape, but constantly shifts, like waves on the ocean. And here's where things get even more interesting. As we explore the nature of activity, we start to get our first glimpse of something even deeper, the mystery of zero. Sasaki had a favorite teaching. Zero inevitably splits into naturally opposing activities, expansion and contraction, which inevitably disappear back into zero. Sounds cryptic, right? But it's actually a blueprint, a model of how everything works, from galaxies to human emotions. Everything arises, expands, contracts, and inevitably disappears. Call it impermanence, call it the fundamental rhythm of reality. Either way, it's the heartbeat of existence. But let's tweak Sasaki's phrasing just a little. From zero activity, a manifested activity inevitably arises and inevitably returns. And important if we are intent on answering those questions that resist normal explanations. If I decide to be happy, why aren't I simply so? But now we need to ask, what do we mean by zero activity? And what do we mean by manifested activity? And so, the question for next episode, what is zero activity?